Have you ever wondered why some people can speak English smoothly while others struggle for years? It's not only about grammar or vocabulary. It's about training your mouth to speak automatically, just like a native speaker. When you were a child, you didn't learn your first language by studying grammar books or memorizing rules. You learned it by listening and repeating, again and again, until your mouth and brain work together naturally. The same rule applies when learning English as an adult. If you only read or study grammar, your English will stay inside your head. It won't come out easily when you speak. To become fluent, you must train your mouth and tongue to move in English rhythm and sound. Think about it like learning to play an instrument. You can read about music all day, but until you pick up the guitar and play it, you'll never make real progress. Speaking English is the same. You must speak out loud every day, even if you make mistakes. When you practice this way, your mouth begins to remember sounds, your tongue finds the right positions, and your voice starts to flow naturally. It's not about perfection, it's about repetition. So many English learners think, I understand everything, but when I try to speak, my mind goes blank. That's because your brain knows the words, but your mouth has never practiced saying them. Imagine a person who knows how to drive in theory, but never sits behind the wheel. That's how most English learners are. They know English in theory, but not in practice. If you want to fix this, you need to train your mouth, not just your memory. Let's begin by understanding one simple truth. The only way to speak English fluently is to practice speaking English out loud every single day. In this lesson, I'll teach you how to train your mouth effectively, so you can speak smoothly, naturally, and confidently, without stopping to translate every word in your head. But first, you must understand this. Fluency is a muscle, and just like any other muscle, it grows only with use. If you want strong English-speaking muscles, you must exercise your mouth daily. Not once a week, not when you feel ready, but every single day. Start today, right now, with me. Here's something most English learners never realize. Your mouth is lazy. Yes, it's true. Your mouth has been trained for years to move in the sounds and patterns of your native language. That means when you try to speak English, your mouth automatically returns to the movements it already knows. Think about it. Every language uses different muscles in the mouth, tongue, and lips. When you try to speak English, your native speaking habits fight against you. That's why your pronunciation feels strange, and your sentences sound slow or unnatural. It's not because you don't know English. It's because your mouth is not yet trained for it. When you hear fluent speakers talk, you may think, they speak too fast. But actually, they're not speaking fast. They're just speaking naturally, using trained muscle memory. Their mouth already knows what to do. If you want to speak like that, you must retrain your mouth. You need to create new speaking habits through daily physical practice. Not silent reading, not grammar exercises, but real spoken repetition. It might feel uncomfortable at first, just like exercising a new muscle. You might stumble, stutter, or feel tired. But that's a good sign. It means your mouth is learning. Don't expect it to happen overnight. Even native speakers practiced their language for years, every single day, before they became fluent. So stop worrying about your accent, your mistakes, or what others think. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you're one step closer to fluency. Remember, fluent English isn't learned by reading, it's built by speaking. The more you use your mouth, the faster your brain and tongue will start working together automatically. Your goal isn't to speak fast, it's to speak naturally. Once your mouth gets used to English rhythm, your speed and confidence will grow on their own. So, how do you train your mouth? You do it by listening and repeating, again and again. Shadowing, reading aloud, and daily speaking practice are the best exercises. The next time you hear a sentence in English, don't just understand it, say it. Don't just think it, speak it out loud. Mouth training is not mental, it's physical. If you can train your body to move in English, your brain will follow automatically. This is the biggest truth about fluency that most learners never hear. You don't think your way to fluency. You speak your way there. Now that you understand the real problem, your mouth isn't trained for English. It's time to learn the best way to fix it. This simple but powerful method has helped thousands of learners start speaking English more naturally and confidently. It's called shadowing practice. Here's how it works. You listen to a native English speaker from a video, an audio clip, or a story, and you repeat everything they say. At the same time, you copy their rhythm, pronunciation, and tone as closely as possible. At first, it might feel difficult. You might not keep up, you might miss words, or you might sound strange. But don't worry, that's part of the training. Every time you shadow, your mouth learns to move more like a native speaker's. When you practice shadowing daily, you build what's called muscle memory. Your mouth begins to remember English sound patterns automatically. You won't have to think so hard. The words will start coming out on their own. Think of it like training in a gym. The first few days feel tough, but if you keep going, your body adapts. The same thing happens with your mouth when you practice English this way. To start, choose a short video or audio clip in clear English, maybe just 30 seconds long. Listen to it carefully 2 or 3 times. Then, start repeating it along with the speaker. Don't focus on understanding every word at first. Focus on copying the sound, rhythm, and tone. The goal is to train your mouth and ear to move together. When you do this regularly, your pronunciation, confidence, and fluency will grow faster than you can imagine. You can even record yourself and listen back. Compare your speech with the original. Notice the small differences. How you stress words, how your voice rises and falls, how smoothly you connect sentences. This will make you more aware of your progress and help you improve faster. Many English learners avoid speaking because they feel shy or afraid of mistakes. But remember, no one becomes fluent by staying silent. You must speak, even if you're alone. Shadowing practice doesn't need a partner. You can train anytime, anywhere at home, in your room, while walking, or even while driving. The key is to practice daily, not perfectly. Over time, your mouth will start moving naturally in English rhythm, and your brain will stop translating from your native language. You'll just speak, clearly, confidently, and automatically. So, from today, make this a part of your daily routine. Even 10 minutes of shadowing every day will change the way you speak forever. Remember, the goal is not to sound perfect. The goal is to sound natural. Now, let's talk about how to actually train your mouth every day to speak English more fluently. Just like exercising your body, you need to exercise your mouth muscles regularly. Here are a few powerful techniques that can help you speak smoothly, clearly, and confidently. 1. Daily repetition practice. Choose 1 or 2 short English sentences every morning. Say them out loud 10 or 20 times. At first, it might feel strange or tiring, but soon your mouth will adjust to the rhythm and sound of English. For example, take a line like, "I want to improve my English speaking skills." Say it again and again, clearly and naturally. After a few days, it will come out automatically without any hesitation. Repetition builds fluency. The more you repeat, the more your mouth remembers. 2. Record and listen to yourself. Most people never realize how they actually sound in English. When you record yourself, you become aware of your pronunciation, tone, and mistakes. Don't be afraid to listen. It's not about judging yourself. It's about improving. When you compare your recording to a native speaker, you'll notice which words you pronounce differently. Then, you can practice those sounds again. This is one of the most effective ways to train your ear and mouth together. 3. Speak with exaggeration. When you practice English, open your mouth wider and move your lips and tongue more than usual. This exaggeration helps your muscles learn faster and makes your pronunciation clearer. For example, if you practice the th sound in words like think or this, exaggerate the tongue movement Stick your tongue out slightly, and make sure the air flows correctly. Do it slowly and clearly, then faster each time. Foreshadowing with emotion. Once you're comfortable repeating sentences, start adding emotion and expression. When you say something happy, smile. When you say something serious, lower your tone. This helps your speech sound more natural and less robotic. Remember, real English speakers use emotion in their voices. Practicing with expression will make your English sound more alive and confident. 5. Speak daily, even alone. If you don't have someone to talk with, talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing, what you see, or what you're thinking, all in English. For example, while cooking, say, "I'm cutting vegetables right now." When you're walking, say, "The weather is nice today." This constant mouth movement trains your fluency without needing a partner. You can also read short English stories or dialogues aloud every day. Don't rush. Focus on clear pronunciation and smooth connection between words. Over time, your voice will become stronger, your words will flow naturally, and your fear of speaking will disappear. Fluency doesn't come from silence, it comes from sound. If you follow these mouth training exercises daily, you will notice a huge difference in just a few weeks. Your tongue, lips, and jaw will adapt to English rhythm. Speaking will no longer feel forced. It will feel natural. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Even 5 minutes a day of focused speaking practice can change your English forever. So start today. Pick one sentence, one sound, one story, and train your mouth until speaking English becomes effortless. Now, let's talk about how to actually train your mouth every day to speak English more fluently. Just like exercising your body, you need to exercise your mouth muscles regularly. Here are a few powerful techniques that can help you speak smoothly, clearly, and confidently. 1. Daily repetition practice. Choose 1 or 2 short English sentences every morning. Say them out loud 10 or 20 times. At first, it might feel strange or tiring, but soon your mouth will adjust to the rhythm and sound of English. For example, take a line like, "I want to improve my English speaking skills." Say it again and again, clearly and naturally. After a few days, it will come out automatically without any hesitation. Repetition builds fluency. The more you repeat, the more your mouth remembers. 2. Record and listen to yourself. Most people never realize how they actually sound in English. When you record yourself, you become aware of your pronunciation, tone, and mistakes. Don't be afraid to listen. It's not about judging yourself. It's about improving. When you compare your recording to a native speaker, you'll notice which words you pronounce differently. Then, you can practice those sounds again. This is one of the most effective ways to train your ear and mouth together. 3. Speak with exaggeration. When you practice English, open your mouth wider and move your lips and tongue more than usual. This exaggeration helps your muscles learn faster and makes your pronunciation clearer. For example, if you practice the th sound in words like think or this, exaggerate the tongue movement, stick your tongue out slightly, and make sure the air flows correctly. Do it slowly and clearly, then faster each time. 4. Shadowing with emotion. Once you're comfortable repeating sentences, start adding emotion and expression. When you say something happy, smile. When you say something serious, lower your tone. This helps your speech sound more natural and less robotic. Remember, real English speakers use emotion in their voices. Practicing with expression will make your English sound more alive and confident. 5. Speak daily, even alone. If you don't have someone to talk with, talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing, what you see, or what you're thinking, all in English. For example, while cooking, say, "I'm cutting vegetables right now." When you're walking, say, "The weather is nice today." This constant mouth movement trains your fluency without needing a partner. You can also read short English stories or dialogues aloud every day. Don't rush. Focus on clear pronunciation and smooth connection between words. Over time, your voice will become stronger, your words will flow naturally, and your fear of speaking will disappear. Fluency doesn't come from silence, it comes from sound. If you follow these mouth training exercises daily, you will notice a huge difference in just a few weeks. Your tongue, lips, and jaw will adapt to English rhythm. Speaking will no longer feel forced. It will feel natural. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Even 5 minutes a day of focused speaking practice can change your English forever. So start today. Pick one sentence, one sound, one story, and train your mouth until speaking English becomes effortless. Most English learners think they are not fluent because they lack vocabulary or grammar knowledge. But in reality, that's not the problem. The real reason is that they haven't practiced speaking enough, out loud and consistently. You may know thousands of English words, but if you don't use them with your mouth, they stay locked inside your head. Your brain understands, but your tongue doesn't cooperate. Fluency is not about how much English you know. It's about how easily your mouth can use the English you already know. Think of it like swimming. You can read every book about swimming, memorize every rule, and still drown the moment you enter the water, because you've never actually swum. That's exactly what happens to most learners. They know English on paper, but can't use it in conversation. Your mouth is untrained, your reflexes are slow, and your brain hesitates before speaking. The only way to fix this is to practice real speaking. Not thinking, not writing, but actual speaking. You must train your mouth to move faster than your doubts. If you do that daily, you'll see a big difference within weeks. Here's what usually happens. At first, you'll feel stuck. You'll hesitate, forget words, and make mistakes. But if you push through that stage, something amazing happens. Your mouth begins to take control. Your words start coming out more smoothly. Your thoughts connect faster. You stop worrying about grammar and start communicating naturally. That's fluency, when your mouth and brain start working together without stopping to translate. But you can't reach that point if you only study silently. You have to speak. Every single day. Even if you talk to yourself, it counts. Describe what you're doing. Repeat what you hear. Read stories aloud. Imitate native speakers. Your mouth learns through movement, not through silence. Remember, fluency isn't learned. It's built sound by sound, word by word, sentence by sentence. If you want to speak English easily and naturally, you must build speaking habits, not just study routines. Habits are stronger than motivation. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to push yourself anymore. You simply do it. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it every morning. It's automatic. That's exactly how English speaking should become for you. Something natural, a part of your daily life. To build that kind of habit, start small. Don't try to speak for an hour every day. Begin with just 10 minutes, but do it every single day. Here's a simple rule. It's better to speak English for 10 minutes daily than to study for 2 hours once a week. Daily practice trains your mouth to stay active. It keeps your pronunciation sharp and your confidence strong. When you skip too many days, your mouth gets lazy again, and your progress slows down. Make speaking part of your normal life. You can talk to yourself in English while walking, cooking, or driving. You can describe what you see, what you're thinking, or what you plan to do. For example, I'm washing the dishes now. The sky looks beautiful today. I'm going to practice English after lunch. These small sentences may seem simple, but they are powerful because they keep your mouth moving in English rhythm. You can also make your surroundings a learning space. Label objects in your home with English names, like door, mirror, table, window. Whenever you see them, say the word out loud. If you make English part of your world, your brain starts thinking in English automatically. The goal is not just to study English, it's to live in English. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. After a few weeks, you'll notice that your sentences start forming faster. You'll begin to express your thoughts without translating. And that's the real sign of improvement, when your mouth speaks before your mind hesitates. But remember, consistency is what turns practice into progress. You can't get fluent in one day, but you can move closer every single day. So build that habit. 10 minutes of honest practice is more powerful than 10 hours of silent study. One of the biggest secrets of fluent speakers is that they think in English. They don't translate every word from their native language. Their thoughts come out directly in English. But here's the truth. Thinking in English doesn't happen by magic. It happens when you train your mouth and brain to work together. When you first start learning, your brain automatically translates everything. You hear a word, you think of it in your own language, then you translate it back into English before speaking. That process is slow, tiring, and breaks your confidence. To stop translating, you have to train your brain to understand English as English. That means connecting meaning directly to English sounds, not to your native language. Here's how to do it. 1. Speak using simple English words. You don't need complicated sentences. When your brain doesn't struggle with hard grammar, it starts thinking faster. Say things like, I like this, or I need water, or I want to go outside. These simple phrases help your brain build direct English connections. 2. Describe everything around you in English. Look at the things in your room and say their names or describe what you see. For example, this is my phone. The window is open. The chair is next to the table. When you do this daily, your brain stops switching languages. It starts thinking in English images. 3. Don't worry about mistakes. Many learners pause because they want to speak perfectly. But when you focus too much on grammar, your fluency slows down. Fluent speakers don't think of grammar rules. They think of ideas. So speak freely, even if it's not perfect. The goal is to express, not impress. 4. Repeat and reuse English sentences often. When you say a sentence many times, your brain stores it as one complete unit. That's how native speakers speak fast, not by thinking word by word, but by recalling full phrases automatically. For example, if you practice, "How are you doing today?" every day, your mouth will say it instantly without effort. This is the same for any useful expression. The more you repeat, the faster you'll speak. 5. Listen and shadow natural English daily. Listen to stories, short talks, or conversations, and repeat them immediately. When you copy real English, your brain begins to understand meaning and rhythm at the same time. Gradually, your thoughts will shift from your native language to English. You'll notice yourself thinking, planning, and reacting in English without forcing it. That's when fluency truly begins, not when you know every word, but when your brain and mouth work together automatically. Thinking in English is not difficult. It just takes consistent practice. Keep training, keep speaking, and one day, you'll realize that English has become a part of your thoughts, your voice, and your life. Most people can understand English, but freeze when it's time to speak. Their mouth refuses to move, their heart beats fast, and their mind goes blank. This is not because they don't know English. It's because they're afraid of being judged or making mistakes. You must understand this clearly. Fear is the biggest wall between you and fluency. If you want to speak English naturally, you have to destroy that fear. Don't wait until you feel ready. You'll never be ready if you keep waiting. The truth is simple. Everyone makes mistakes. Even native speakers do. The only difference is that fluent people keep talking despite their mistakes, while others stop. Think about children learning to speak. They don't care if they say something wrong. They laugh, repeat, and keep going until they get it right. That's exactly how you need to practice. The more you speak, the less you fear. Every time you open your mouth, you train your confidence. Silence keeps fear alive. Speaking kills it. Here's a small exercise. Every day, say one English sentence out loud, in front of a mirror. Look at yourself while speaking. Don't think about how you look or sound. Just focus on finishing your sentence clearly. Do this every day. At first, you might feel shy or awkward. After a week, you'll feel stronger. After a month, you'll start speaking without hesitation. Another way to reduce fear is to record your voice. Listen to yourself. Notice your pronunciation, your tone, your pauses. You might not like it at first, but over time, you'll notice improvement. That small progress will build your confidence. If you ever feel nervous when speaking with others, slow down. You don't need to rush. Fluency is not about speed, it's about comfort. Speak slowly, clearly, and confidently. It's better to speak a little slower and be understood than to rush and get lost. And remember this, nobody cares about your mistakes as much as you do. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to notice your small errors. So stop holding yourself back. The only way to get over the fear of speaking English is to speak English again and again until it feels normal. Every sentence you say makes your voice stronger. Every mistake you make teaches you something. Every conversation you try brings you closer to fluency. Fear doesn't disappear before you speak. It disappears while you speak. Many English learners can speak clearly, but their speech still sounds a little unnatural. It's not about mistakes, it's about flow. Native speakers connect words smoothly, use natural rhythm, and speak with emotion. If you want to sound more natural, you must learn the rhythm and melody of English, not just the words. English is a stress-based language. That means some words are said stronger and longer, while others are shorter and softer. For example, in the sentence, I want to go to the market. The words want, go, and market are stressed. This stress pattern makes your speech sound natural and easy to follow. If you pronounce every word equally, your English might sound robotic. So start paying attention to how native speakers say things, not just what they say. Listen carefully to short conversations, songs, or movies. Notice the pauses, the rhythm, and how their tone goes up and down. Then, copy it exactly. Repeat after them. This is called intonation training, and it's one of the most powerful ways to make your English sound real. Here are a few simple tips to sound more natural. 1. Don't speak too formally all the time. Use common, relaxed phrases like, "What's up?" instead of "How are you doing today?" "I'm gonna go" instead of "I am going to go." It's not bad grammar. It's just how real people speak. 2. Use contractions naturally. Say "I'm" instead of "I am." "You're" instead of "you are." And "don't" instead of "do not." It makes your speech smoother and more natural. 3. Practice linking words together. Native speakers connect sounds instead of pausing between each word. For example, want to becomes wanna, going to becomes gonna, and let me becomes lemmy. Practice these connections slowly, then faster each time. 4. Add emotion to your voice. English is full of expression. If you speak without emotion, even correct sentences sound flat. When you're excited, let your voice rise. When you're serious, lower your tone slightly. 5. Listen, imitate, and repeat daily. Shadow short dialogues or videos. Don't just hear the words, copy the rhythm, the stress, and even the breathing pattern. It's like learning music. Repetition builds mastery. When you start practicing these habits, your English will sound smoother, more confident, and more alive. You'll no longer sound like a textbook. You'll sound like a real speaker. Remember, fluency isn't only about grammar. It's about sound, rhythm, and confidence. So train your mouth to move like a native speaker's mouth. The more you repeat, the more your English will sound natural and effortless. Keep practicing, keep imitating, and soon, your English will not only be correct, it will sound beautiful. One of the biggest challenges for many English learners is not having someone to practice with. You might not live in an English-speaking country, and maybe your friends or family don't speak English at all. So, how can you practice speaking every day if you have no one to talk to? The answer is simple. You talk to yourself. It might sound strange, but this is one of the most effective ways to improve your English. When you speak to yourself, you can practice freely. You don't have to worry about judgment, mistakes, or embarrassment. It's just you, your thoughts, and your voice. Here's how to do it effectively. 1. Describe your daily life out loud. From the moment you wake up, use English to describe what you're doing. Say things like, "I'm brushing my teeth." "I'm making breakfast." "I'm getting ready for work." When you describe actions in real time, your mouth learns to connect English with your daily routine. Soon, You'll start thinking in English naturally. 2. Have many conversations with yourself. Ask and answer your own questions. For example, how was my day? It was good, but I was tired. What do I want to eat? Maybe I'll have some rice or fruit. It might feel funny at first, but it's powerful brain training. 3. Retell short stories in your own words. After watching an English video or reading a story, explain what you understood out loud. Don't memorize sentences. Use your own words to summarize. This builds confidence and helps you speak more naturally. 4. Read out loud every day. Take a short paragraph from a book, a story, or even subtitles from a movie, and read them clearly. Focus on pronunciation, stress, and rhythm. You're not just reading, you're exercising your mouth. 5. Use your phone as a speaking partner. Record yourself speaking for 1 or 2 minutes. Then, play it back and listen carefully. Notice your pronunciation and speed. Each recording will show you how much you're improving over time. You don't need anyone else to practice. Your own voice is enough. The goal is to make English a part of your everyday life. And remember, even native speakers practice by talking to themselves, thinking aloud, preparing speeches, or rehearsing conversations. So don't feel shy or strange about it. It's a smart and powerful technique. If you talk to yourself in English every day for 1 month, your fluency will improve faster than you expect. Your mouth will get used to English rhythm, your confidence will grow, and your hesitation will slowly disappear. Practice alone, but never silently, because silence doesn't build fluency. Speaking does. Many English learners believe speaking practice is all about talking. But here's something most people forget. Good speaking starts with good listening. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. You didn't start by speaking. You listened for months, to your parents, to sounds, to words, and slowly, your brain learned how to form them. That same process works for English too. Listening is not a passive skill. It's the foundation for natural speaking. When you listen carefully, your brain collects the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation of real English. Then, when you speak, your mouth imitates what you've heard. If you don't listen enough, you'll always struggle to sound natural, because your brain doesn't know how English really sounds. So, if you want to speak fluently, you must also listen actively. Here are some powerful ways to train your listening. 1. Listen every day, even for a few minutes. You don't need hours. 10 to 15 minutes of focused listening daily will slowly change the way your ears hear English. Your goal isn't to understand every word. It's to absorb the sound of English. 2. Choose natural English, not textbook English. Real conversations, podcasts, stories, or YouTube videos are better than formal lessons. Native speakers use relaxed, connected speech. That's what you want your mouth to copy. 3. Listen and repeat. Don't just listen silently. After hearing a sentence, pause and repeat it. Match the speaker's speed, tone, and pronunciation. This combines listening with speaking. It's called active listening. 4. Focus on rhythm and emotion, not just words. Notice how native speakers use stress to show feelings or emphasis. Sometimes they stretch a word, pause, or raise their tone. These details make their speech sound alive. When you repeat, copy that emotion too. 5. Use English as background sound. Even if you're busy, play English audio while cleaning, walking, or resting. Your brain will still absorb the rhythm subconsciously. The more English you listen to, the faster your speaking improves. Your mouth copies what your ears hear. If you listen to slow, clear, real English daily, you'll start speaking in the same way, naturally and confidently. Don't worry about understanding everything at first. Fluency doesn't mean knowing every word. It means being comfortable with the language. And comfort comes from exposure. So keep your ears open and your mouth ready. Every minute of listening is one more step toward better speaking. Remember this: the more you listen, the better you speak. Listening is not preparation, it's part of the process. When students begin to train their mouths to speak English fluently, many of them make the same mistakes without realizing it. These mistakes can slow your progress and make your practice less effective, even if you're working hard every day. Let's look at the most common ones and learn how to avoid them. Mistake 1: practicing silently. You can't train your mouth by staying quiet. Reading English in your mind or watching videos without speaking won't help you much. Fluency is a physical skill. It needs your voice, your lips, your tongue. You must move your mouth and speak out loud every single day. Mistake 2: worrying too much about grammar. Grammar is important, but fluency and grammar are not the same thing. If you focus on grammar rules while speaking, you will stop and think too much. It's better to speak naturally with small mistakes than to stay silent trying to be perfect. Grammar improves with time. Fluency improves with speaking. Mistake 3: trying to speak too fast. Many learners think that speaking quickly means being fluent. But speaking fast without control makes your English unclear. Fluency is not about speed. It's about flow and comfort. Start slowly and clearly. Your speed will grow naturally as your confidence grows. Mistake 4: practicing once in a while. Some people speak English one day, then stop for a week. This breaks the connection between your brain and your mouth. Remember, consistency is more powerful than intensity. Even 10 minutes daily is better than 2 hours once a week. Mistake 5: comparing yourself to others. Everyone learns at a different speed. If you compare your progress with someone else's, you'll lose motivation. Your goal is not to be better than others. It's to be better than yesterday's you. Mistake 6: avoiding difficult words or sounds. Some learners skip difficult sounds like th or r because they feel uncomfortable. But avoiding them won't help you improve. You have to practice the sounds you find hardest until they become easy. Every sound you master makes your English stronger. Mistake 7: studying too much, speaking too little. You might be watching lessons, reading books, and learning vocabulary. But if you're not using your voice, it's not real practice. Knowledge without action does not create fluency. Your brain learns from study, but your mouth learns from repetition. Both must work together. Mistake 8: stopping when you make errors. Mistakes are part of the process. Every fluent speaker you admire once made the same mistakes you're making now. So don't stop when you say something wrong. Laugh, correct yourself, and move on. Each error teaches your mouth to adjust and improve. If you avoid these common mistakes and focus on daily, active speaking, your fluency will grow faster than ever before. Remember, English fluency doesn't come from knowing more. It comes from doing more. Keep practicing, keep repeating, and never let small mistakes stop you, because the only real mistake is giving up. Now you know the truth. Fluency is not magic, and it's not luck. It's the result of daily mouth training, consistent speaking, and the right mindset. Every sound you practice, every sentence you say, and every mistake you correct is shaping your fluency. Your mouth is learning a new way to move, and your brain is learning a new rhythm of communication. But remember this: fluency doesn't come suddenly. It grows quietly, step by step, like a seed turning into a tree. Some days you'll feel improvement, and some days you won't. That's normal. What matters most is that you keep going. Don't wait for motivation to start. Motivation will not come every day, but discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Speak even when you don't feel like it. Practice even when you're tired. Repeat even when you make mistakes. Each small effort adds up. Each minute of speaking brings you closer to the level you dream of. Remember, the person who trains daily will always become more fluent than the one who only studies theory. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You've already taken the hardest step, deciding to improve. Now, All you need to do is stay on the path. Make speaking English part of your identity. Don't think of it as something you study. Think of it as something you live. Speak when you walk. Speak when you cook. Speak when you think. Turn your world into your English classroom. If you do this, your progress will surprise you. Your mouth will begin to move automatically. Your thoughts will form faster, and English will become a natural part of your life. And remember, every fluent speaker you see today once stood exactly where you are now, unsure, nervous, and afraid to start. The difference is that they didn't stop. So don't stop either. Train your mouth every day. Believe in your progress. Celebrate your small wins. Because one day, you'll look back and realize you did it. You became fluent. And when that happens, you'll know it wasn't luck. It was effort. Your daily practice. Your discipline. Your voice. They created your fluency. So keep speaking. Keep learning. Keep improving. Your mouth is the key to your confidence, and your voice is your power. Train it. Strengthen it. Use it. Because the more you speak, the more fluent you become. And the more fluent you become, the more doors open in your life. Final words from Learn Smarty. If this lesson helped you, remember to like this video, subscribe to Learn Smarty, and keep joining us every week for more powerful English learning videos. Here, you don't just learn English, you train your voice, build confidence, and grow as a person. Fluency isn't a dream. It's a decision. Start today. Train your mouth. And never stop speaking.